Hello friends, welcome to my morning routine. It's very early in the morning actually this side of the world. It's 3:30 in the morning, half 3 a.m. Yes, so usually my morning starts off around this time, and the reason why I wake up around this time is because I'm trying to manage the load shedding situation in Malawi. I do realize that other countries also they've been experiencing load shedding, like in South Africa, in Zambia. Yeah. So for those of you who've never maybe experienced this or you don't know what load shedding is, so this is the situation whereby the electricity supplier, like here in Malawi, it's supplied by a company called ESCOM. They limit how they ration electricity supply to the various communities. Yes, so the reason why they are limiting this is because they have got the electricity generation power capacity is very low, it's limited. They cannot supply electricity to all of us in the country. So they just have to limit and ration the electricity supply. So our electricity here in Malawi, mostly it comes from water, from the Shire River, the waterfalls. Yeah, so whatever situation happens with the river, it may affect the capacity to generate a power. Like whenever it's dry season and the water levels are very low, they do not generate enough power. And whenever we've got rains and there's siltation, they fail also to generate enough power. And whenever maybe there's overgrowth of weeds in the river, they also fail to, it clogs the power, the electricity generation system, and they fail to generate enough capacity to supply to the population. Yeah, so we are facing the kind of situation whereby we are having at least 8 hours of shortage of power in a day. They've got a schedule that we follow for power cuts or for load shedding, but sometimes they do not abide by that. So for me to be on the safe side, because I have to prepare breakfast for my family, I just have to wake up very early, because usually maybe they may cut off the power around 5 a.m. or maybe even to half 4 or to 5. So to run away from that, I would rather just wake up early, I make breakfast, I put it on the table, then I go back to sleep. Then it takes me about 30 to 40 minutes just to finish the breakfast preparation process. That means I'll go back to sleep, then I'll wake up again at 6 a.m. I'll just do a bit of some exercise and I'll take a bath. Yeah, so then I'll go to work. That's how my morning routine is like. Right now, I want to start preparation of the breakfast quickly so that I may catch up on my sleep again. Yeah, so come along with me. I'll just switch on my oven here because I want to make a few cupcakes for my son to take to school. I of course also bread for breakfast. So I'll just preheat my oven here. I'm preheating my oven at about 180 degrees for the preparation of my cupcakes for my son. Yeah. So, as you can see right here, I already put my ingredients. Yesterday, I did this preparation yesterday. So quickly. I've just taken this sieve. I want to sieve some flour for the cupcake. Yeah. And these are measuring cups. This is about 237 mils. It's 1 cup. I don't know. I thought 1 cup was supposed to be 250, but this is 237. This is what I'm using. And unfortunately, I'm running out of flour, but whatever I managed to do. So this is 1 cup. And, So fortunately, yeah, I've got enough, 2 cups. I thought maybe it will not be enough, but it's 2 cups. There we go. Then I'll take my baking powder, is here, okay? And here I'll measure 2 spoons of baking powder quickly. Yeah, this is 1, this is 2. Yeah. So initially I thought I would not have enough flour, so I had planned to make some banana bread, whereby I usually add some maize flour in the banana bread. But this time, because I've got enough of this wheat flour, I'll not make the banana bread. So I'm not using these bananas, I'll put them back. So I'll make some vanilla cupcakes quickly, saving the flour here. Just a pinch of salt. Okay, just to add to the seasoning. Quickly sieve the flour. Okay, time me, guys. You have to time me how long I'm taking to do this. Yeah. So in here, I'm setting the flour aside. Another bowl. I'll just add some eggs. Okay. There we go. That's one. How many eggs do you use in your cakes? I haven't yet mastered the skill of doing this. Sometimes the cupcakes come out nicely, and sometimes they don't come out nicely. I'm still learning the skill of making nice fluffy cupcakes. So I'll just use this to beat up the eggs. I have this electric beater, but I'm not using that because it makes a lot of noise, and this is early in the morning, people are sleeping. I don't want to disturb their sleep, so I'll just use this hand whip. Okay, I forgot to put some sugar. So just a little bit of sugar. We don't like too much sugar in this house, so I'll put a little of that. A little whip. So it requires a lot of energy for it to be whipped properly. What I want to do to achieve is that it should make a little bit of some bubbles to aerate it. So guys, it takes a lot of energy to do this. I'm used to the electricity beater, but yeah. Hey, I think this is enough. It's enough for the day. It's enough for the day. Yeah, this is enough. And now I'll add some oil to it. Okay. All right. So I'm using half cup. This is a half cup of oil. All right. So now I'll continue my beating. Make the mixture of sugar and egg. I'm just adding in the oil there. Okay. Okay. Just added in the oil in there. Then I'll start. You know, I already did this. I sieved the flour right now. I'll just be folding in a little bit of flour at a time. Okay. I'm just folding in some flour. Yeah, so electricity supply is a very big problem here in Malawi. But right now, because we're just coming from the rainy season, we've been facing prolonged periods of power cuts. So you just have to be able to manage your time. You should manage your time. And I've already switched on my water heater. We call it geyser, the geyser system. I've switched that on. Because for me and the cold water, we don't do well. I don't like bathing cold water. I just have to bath hot water. Unless maybe if I'm coming from maybe an exercise, a very, very intense exercise, perhaps. Okay, so this is milk. Unless if I was doing some intense exercises, then I would bath some cold water. But usually, also it has to be lukewarm. Okay, not very cold, but lukewarm. Okay, I also like to add a little bit of butter, to be honest. So I forgot to add it, but I hope it's not too late to add butter. Butter always adds a certain flavor to food, so I hope it's not too late, but I'll still add a little bit. Yeah, just a teaspoon. Makes everything tastes nice. Okay. And we are going towards winter season here in Malawi. It's actually becoming very cold. Right now it's about 14 degrees Celsius. 14 degrees Celsius outside, which by the standards for Lilongwe city, it's very cold. Because this is not a hot city. It's usually a warm around. Sometimes at its hottest, it may go to, that is when we are in summer. At the peak of summer, it may go up to maybe 29 degrees Celsius. Only a few times when it goes to 30 degrees, but usually it falls in the 20s, 20 degrees Celsius. But now it's 14 degrees Celsius, which is very cold. And I just want to recognize all the people who do charity work, looking after the street kids, because it's not easy being in the street this time of the winter. It's very cold, and kudos to all the people doing charity work, distributing clothes and other essentials, or building shelters for the needy. Yeah, we are praying for those people who are involved with such work. It's essential that all of us, in one way or another, we should be involved in some charity work, reaching out and giving back, even though we don't do it enough. But I'm praying that God should give us the capacity and the ability to be able to reach out to the needy people. Okay, so I'm doing this. I'm putting some vanilla essence here, just a little bit, right? Yeah. We've got so many needy people in Malawi, and I don't think one can have any excuse for not helping out. Yeah, just giving out maybe a few clothes, some winter things that you're not using anymore, or even so much better yet, just buying brand new stuff and giving out. Yeah, you don't lose a thing for doing that. I don't do it enough. I don't do it enough at all. God should help me with this noble duty of reaching out to the poor. So I just want to oil my baking pan. Okay, what's happening here? Okay, just trying to oil it up. But I think I should not waste my time of that. Right. I forgot that I had these. Okay, what's the name of these things? They always come in handy. Ideal for muffins, baking cases. I'll use the baking case. I forgot that I had the baking cases, so I'll quickly just use the baking cases. Now my oven is hot already. Yeah, so just reaching out. I don't do it enough actually, and God should help me. And not only God helping me, but I have to make an intentional decision to reach out to the needy people. Yeah, because we've got so many of them in Malawi. Right now, the economy is not good, and people are in dire need of assistance and support. And in whatever way we can, we should not always wait for donations from outside, because right now Trump has closed the doors for the USA. Okay, so Trump is saying no more donations to you guys. You need to help yourselves. Help yourselves. That's what the message that's coming from Trump. Because we are heavily donor funded in Malawi. Okay? Our budget support was just too much coming from donors. And the US was the driver of the donor community. Because a very big percentage, I don't know the statistics off the head, but it's a very huge percentage of donations in Malawi were coming from the US. And with the dismantling of the USAID, it means no more donations. And we have to find ways as a people of fending for ourselves. Okay? We need to find a way of... there are advantages and disadvantages of donations. They are there. Especially to a country's budget. Sometimes it gives the leaders a laissez-faire attitude because they are aware that no matter what, we'll be receiving these donations, so we don't have to work hard in our fundraising efforts or in making our investment as a country. And there's too much corruption. People are taking up public finances, public taxes, and even donor monies, using it for personal gain. So there are all those disadvantages for this donor aid. It raises this attitude in our leaders, whereby they know that whether we take care of the economy or not, we will still receive money. So now, Donald Trump has said no more donations. Perhaps we are going to wake up as a country and become more productive so that we can be self-sufficient. Okay? Yeah, because we learn the nature of human beings is that we learn better when we have got problems. We find our own solutions. Okay, so these are the cupcakes. I'll just put them in the oven. Okay. So I preheat the oven at 180 degrees. I've put it in, and right now I just have to warm my water for tea. Okay, I have to boil the water in the kettle. Yeah, so my kettle is boiling, and it will take about 15 to 20 minutes for my cupcakes to be ready. And once that is done, I'll go back to sleep to catch up on my sleep. Yeah, so as I was saying, Trump has closed the tap for donor aid here in Malawi. And it's the USAID made up a huge chunk of donor aid here. So with that, except for essential services, what they're calling essential services, I don't know what those essential services are. I haven't really investigated on that, but there are disadvantages and advantages to this. The disadvantage is that most of the working class here in Malawi, the middle class, they used to depend on the foreign aid. They used to depend on the NGOs, okay? And these NGOs were getting their money from foreign assistance, from aid programs of foreign countries. And the biggest of them is the USA. So most of the people are losing their jobs. Families are being affected because of the job losses, which is so bad to our economy. And it would have been nice if Mr. Trump had given us a warning that we are cutting aid maybe in the next 6 months or in the next year. We'll cut aid instead of just doing it abruptly. In fact, there are so many court cases, lawsuits that have been taken up by the staff members. Some of them have been relieved of their jobs without their salary benefits, without severance pays. So because of that, they have taken up their various NGOs that were US funded. They have taken up lawsuits with them. Yeah, so this is a very big disadvantage to the economy because it will affect the spending capacity of these middle income people who make up also a huge chunk of the working class here in Malawi. Yeah, so that is the disadvantage, and most of the families have been affected in one way or another, maybe directly affected or indirectly affected through dependence or something like that. Yeah, so there are so many disadvantages, but for the advantages in the long term, it may benefit us as a country because maybe it may help us to think critically and to think long term on what kind of investments to make instead of just relying on donations. Should we go in farming? Should we go in business? What kind of business can be more productive? I've noted with the donor aid that it brings up about a laissez-faire attitude, as I already alluded to. whereby you know that I'll just do this advocacy maybe for equality, I'll do this advocacy for climate change, I'll raise this awareness in the communities, I'll distribute free cash maybe to disaster-prone areas, maybe I'll do this social work in the name of helping the underprivileged. So by doing that, I think it also enforces this dependability, okay? Dependability syndrome among the populace. Instead of the people being so independent and self-reliant, they always know that at the end of the day or at the end of the month, we will receive free cash or we are going to receive free services, okay? Even the government, at government level, the extension work is affected because they know that, okay, somebody else will do and I will come and do our extension work for us. Now, with this stopping of foreign aid here in Malawi, I think it may help us think critically and think long-term, starting from the broader level of the government. At that level, maybe they may think of how best to do our extension work, how best do we develop our country, maybe through the mining sector, how best do we do our agriculture ourselves instead of relying on somebody else. So it may bring maybe some higher level of responsibility and accountability, taking care of our limited resources so much better. I hope it will do that. I hope the end result will do that. But what we need is the patriotic leadership. Okay, the water has boiled. I have to put it in the flask. Alright, so this is it. Put it on the table. Okay. So I just want to wipe off this sugar jar. You know, English is not my first language, so forgive me some of these words. I don't know what is called sugar jar. Yes, friends, as we are waiting for our cupcakes to finish cooking. Yeah, we are waiting for our cupcakes to finish cooking. I just want to do some chit chat with you guys. Yeah, so we are talking about donor funding. Yeah, so yeah, it will help us maybe operate better as a country in the long term. I hope so. Maybe even at individual level, it will be hard, it will be very tough in the medium term, but I don't know about the long term. It may help also maybe for us as individuals to think creatively on how to do our investments, how maybe to enter into farming, or maybe the type of business that we may do that may be profitable. Of course, the economy is not doing very well, but it's my prayer that God should open the doors for this country so that whatever happens, we should benefit from this. Because as the word of God says that everything works for the best of the people that love Him. I believe that this nation is a God-fearing nation, and something good and something great will come up from this Trump decision. Trump decision, yeah. So that is it. That is it, guys. That's how we are being affected by the scrapping off of the USAID. Yeah, a lot of donor dependency syndrome here in Africa, and that's the other reason why Africa is not developing, because literally, like, people are being given everything. People are being given cash. People are being given free allowances. People are being given like advocacy work. There's some other way, our own ways of living that we had as a country, something that used to work in the olden days. It used to sustain life. We used to work, but now, is it an imperialistic spirit? They've been bringing these different ideas that, okay, you're having a backward idea. These are wrong and harmful cultures. You have to change these cultures. So they are bringing different lessons to us. So much money is coming in just to teach us on how maybe to do our farming, is something maybe to help us to, like, most of our local varieties, maybe varieties are gone. Local potato varieties are gone. Sweet potato varieties are gone, and all the varieties that are coming up now, they are mostly hybrid varieties, because people are just bringing in these ideas through these donations. Okay, this is how we need to live. This is how you need to operate. This is how you need to store your crops. This is how you need to practice your marriage rituals, rites. This is bad, harmful cultural practice. But these kind of practices are what have sustained us for ages, for years. It's only in this recent century that we've been having all this flow of donations. I think from the end of colonialism, maybe in the past, maybe 70 years or 60 years, 40, it's very recent, and it's destroyed economies. Because of this dependency syndrome. And telling us that your ideas are the wrong ideas. We've been sustained with these ideas. And if we would be left to experience those ideas ourselves and to improve on them ourselves with our own intelligence and our own experiences, that would be so much better. Instead of just coming in with, okay, do this in this way, do this in that way. Okay, we should raise an awareness in this. This is how you need to raise your children. This is how you need to structure your syllabuses at school. So there's so much information coming, but for what? What is it benefiting us as a country? It's disintegrating the societies. It's disintegrating the economies. Because people are seeing free money and they say, okay, free money, everybody, open your hands for free money here, free money there, free money there. We have to work for money. Everyone knows. Bill Gates knows that he has to work for his money. President Trump knows that he has to work. Biden, Obama, they all know that they have to work for their money. So why free money here? So it's a double-edged sword. We'll be affected, but I'm hoping that it will raise awareness and it will raise creativity among the concerned people. That's my hope, and I'm praying that God should help us do that. Okay, let me check on my cupcakes. Okay, so they are almost done. Another issue that has been lingering on my mind, apart from the donor issue, is the situation with what do we call them? The royals in England, the English royalty. Okay, the likes of Prince William, Prince Harry, King Charles relationship. You know how the relationship has broken down between these three and in the family. It's very sad. Princess Diana, she's somebody who is highly recognized in Malawi, and there was a year, I think in the 1980s, when she came here in Malawi. She was such a charming lady, and she had a very good, awesome affection over the country of Malawi, with the charity work that I've been talking about, Yeah, she was doing good things. Yeah, so Princess Diana was so popular also here. And she had these two boys. For a mother, you always want your children to stick together. You don't want any squabbles among your children. So even Princess Diana right now, I mean, her body is rolling in the grave because of the situation that's happening in the royal household there in England. You know, Malawi used to be a colony of the United Kingdom. The Queen has ever been here before, the Queen of England. Yeah, and Princess Anne has ever been here before. Yeah, so we've got a good relationship with England, and it's very bad what is happening right now. But I know the reason why is because in the families sometimes we treat our children unequally. We do realize that William was the potential heir to the throne. Maybe he'll be king. So because of that, I've heard that he was being treated favorably, more favorably than his brother, Harry. Okay? William was being treated favorably, and he was receiving a double portion for everything. Okay? Is this a mosquito or what? Okay? Okay, so you see, I told you that it's night and the mosquitoes are just flying all over the place, wanting to give me some malaria. Okay, so this sort of treatment of children, unequal treatment, one is treated unfairly, the other one is treated favorably. Prince William was always getting a double portion of everything. Even when they are having breakfast, Prince William was getting 2 sausages and Harry was getting 1 sausage. For eggs, Prince William was getting maybe 2 sausages, Harry was only getting 1 egg. And Prince William was getting 2 muffins, Harry was only getting 1 muffin. So there was this unequal treatment of these boys from quite a young age. And this is traumatizing, guys. It's so traumatizing. How can a child grow up in such a situation whereby he's actually seeing that his brother is being treated favorably? Even the butlers, when they come around, they would treat the other boy, William, more favorably than Harry. And this is very bad psychologically, and I think they are reaping the fruits of that. This is a learning process for them. They have to learn that even though George will be the next king, but Louis should be treated equal. Okay? If they're raising them, they should be raised equally. Of course, as for responsibilities, you may give George more responsibilities, all right, pertaining to his role of being an heir to the throne. You may do that. But as for treatment, like in how you treat your children, they should be treated equally. In how you are giving them whatever benefits of the family, the breakfast, the supplies, the provisions, it should be equal. You don't have to unfavorably treat one child at the expense of favorably treat one child at the expense of another child. Yeah, that's what they are reaping right now, because Harry has always been treated unfavorably, and I feel sad. I feel sad. Oh, what is happening are just symptoms of a highly rooted, deeply rooted problem that is there in England. The what I've already described. So they are reaping the problems of that, and they have to resolve that. The king should sit down with Harry and apologize to him as a son, that I haven't treated you well as a son, and I want to reconnect to you. Yeah, as a father should be open, and Harry also should humble himself and go to his father. I saw this BBC documentary that was saying that Harry, it was an interview, Harry wanted to reconcile. I don't know how, if it is done in sincerity, that interview, but he was saying that he wanted to reconcile. However, it apparently is that the king doesn't want to speak with him. But as a king, you should always be willing to speak to your child. Okay? You talk about the issue of the prodigal son, whereby in the Bible, this son, the younger son, he demanded all his inheritance before the father died. You know, inheritance comes after your parents, they die. That's when you inherit. But the prodigal son, he wanted his inheritance even before his father had died, and he took it and he went to a faraway country. He led a wayward life. But after the son had realized the wrong that he had done, he came back and he found the father waiting. Actually, the father saw the son from very far away because he was always looking out for his son. Okay, guys, cupcakes are ready. Let me take them out. All right, so this is it. Okay, I'm done. I'm done with my morning duty. I have to go and catch up my sleep. However, just to finish on the prodigal son, the father was always waiting for his son to come back. Okay, his younger son. Harry is the younger son. So I'm relating him to the prodigal son. He went wayward just because of this psychological effect that they had on him. The father was waiting. He stood there looking out from the way to the road. He was always looking down on the road. What time will my son come? Actually, maybe he was even praying for his son to return. And once he saw something looking like his son coming from far away, the father ran to him and he hugged his son. He embraced his son. He showed love to his son. The wayward son, the one that had demanded all the inheritance before its due time, before his father had passed away, he inherited all that was in his. He requested for all his inheritance. But when he realized that he was coming back, the father ran to him. He was expectant. He had an open heart. He embraced him. He showed him love. He threw a party for him. Okay? This is the spirit that a father should show towards the children. Always be willing to accept your children when they all come back. Show that you're open to having them back. Okay? Have an open spirit for them. And I'm praying that Harry and Meghan will be welcomed again in the royal household, in the royal family. Whatever is happening with Harry now, it's a psychological effect of how he was treated some time back. Yeah. So that is it. I'm now going to sleep. I was also packing up this thing here. You know, this thing is this cotton wool here, and there are some beans. My son has got an experiment at school. He was told to bring a clear bottle, some beans, and some cotton wool. So I've done it. This is his bottle, drinking bottle. I'll put some water here, and I'll also put some a cake, and I'll make some samosas. Okay. I already have this samosa, so I'll just fry it up. Yeah, so I'm set, guys. Go back to sleep. I'll wake up at 6 a.m. just to finish up with the packing. Hello, guys. It's now 6 o'clock a.m. I'm awake. I've slept for about 1 hour 30 minutes. So I just want to do a quick skip rope before I start my day. Yeah, thank you so much, guys. Mangerengere, gerengere, mangerengere, sameri, mangerengere, gerengere, mangerengere, sameri, mangerengere, mangerengere. Oh, oh gosh, that's my layman exercise, self-exercise. That's it, friends, from me. That's what more or less my morning routine looks like. Earlier on, I was talking about Prince Harry and the situation that's happening in the royal household in England. Yeah, I would request the king to stand waiting with open arms. Don't hold a grudge on him. He's your son after all. Welcome him back to the fold with open arms. Likewise, all of us, like sheep, we've gone astray. All of us, like the prodigal son, we've gone astray. But the Lord has taken up our sin on himself, on his shoulders. Through that cross on Calvary, he took up our sin for himself. Even though we went astray, he's looking down the road for us to return back to him, and he will welcome us with open arms. It's only in those loving arms of the Father that will find true peace, that will find true joy, that will experience true love. Let's go back to the Father now, because we've all gone astray like the lost sheep, like the prodigal son. The Father is waiting for us. Let's give ourselves to him. Thank you so much, friends. I'm now all ready for work. I'm ready to start the day. It's 6:45. Yeah, I'll be leaving soon for work. So thank you so much for participating in my morning routine. Yeah, merci beaucoup. I'll prepare avec moi aujourd'hui. Maintenant, je vais à la work. I want to work now, guys. So yeah, pretty much that's what my routine is all about. Waking up, preparing breakfast, going back to sleep, waking up again, a bit of some skip ropes just to keep my heart running, then off I go to work. So that's it. Keep watching several videos that I've posted prior to this one. Merci beaucoup, mon amis. Au revoir.